Hello again everyone, Age of Dune here, and we're back with another League of Legends Shoutcast. This is going to be a full-on Shoutcast, no single-player Shoutcast this time. And I decided to go ahead and just take a look at the people who were streaming at the time to see who I wanted to go ahead and Shoutcast. And I actually found that Complexity has a couple of members streaming at the moment. So I wanted to go ahead and cast them. They've been in the LCS a lot, and I realized I haven't had very many games of them at all. So I was more than happy to go ahead and do just that. I watched Prolly stream, actually, in order to get into this game. And I would not like his queue time. His queue time is forever. He was like I think it was a 15-minute queue time. That would drive me crazy. But he did finally get into a game. He asked for mid, but he did not actually end up getting it as Azingi decided to go for mid. So he went top instead. And he actually apparently did not know who destroys Akali, so he asked one of his teammates, "Hey, who destroys Akali?" And their reply was, "Oh, pretty much anybody." He said, "Oh, well, how about Rumble?" No, not Rumble. And he suggested like 4 more champions. And every time he suggested a champion, his teammate's like, "Oh, no, not that one either." So finally he ran out of time, and he's like, "You know what? Forget it. I'm just going to go with Kennen." And that's finally what he did. So went ahead and went with that. It was pretty close there. We do actually have Elise over here. She went ahead and warded up the red buff just to see where they were going to go. And of course, both teams have actually done deep wards, which is not something you typically see in solo queue. LCS, oh yeah, you see this all the time. All the time, you get that vision of the enemy jungle, and then you usually see blue team go for these buffs, red team go for these buffs. But in solo queue, you typically don't see anything like that. So it's kind of strange seeing that, but one thing about it, in the part that I actually was watching, he was kind of freaking out because, his team actually didn't ward up his own red buff. So he doesn't know if they're going to go for it or not. And he can't know because, unfortunately for him, he's got no wards. So we'll have to see what ends up happening for that, whether they will choose to go for that or not. He's also apparently not getting any sort of a leash. So that's going to be really annoying. It's actually going to be very annoying. And interestingly, the 2 members of Complexity that are on this team are not actually in their position. We've got Kez here, who's normally the jungler for Complexity, and we've got Prolly, who is top instead of mid. That being said, of course, top and mid are actually fairly similar. They're actually doing a bit of trading here. Actually, a lot of damage going on to Prolly there, and I don't think he's going to die. No, he's going to be fine. But yeah. Top and mid are fairly similar, but you've got to remember that you also have to know the matchups. And mid and top matchups are typically fairly different. As, in top lane, you've got a lot of the more tanky stuff, and then stuff like Akali, apparently. Whereas mid, usually you have AP carries, assassins, pretty much a lot of damage really quickly, and not much in the way of sustain. So there actually are differences between the two. And when you are forced to switch positions, it's going to be a bit of a switch for you because you're going completely separate from what you're used to. You will be hearing booms, by the way, as it is Fireworks Day. Of course, granted here, for the past, I believe, 7 to 8 days has been Fireworks Day here. But alright, we're going to go ahead and put everybody in order here. We've got a top line of Complexity's Prolly playing the Kennen versus Akali, played by Kuras Shendo. Mid lane, we've got Zed, played by Azingi, and he's going to be against Faker Dog, playing Twisted Fate. I believe, from what I've seen on streams, that this is actually Shifter. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe that's what I've seen on Skara's stream last night. I'm not 100% certain, but I'm pretty sure. And we actually have a gank coming in here from the Elise. Shifter's going to have to run. Flashes the stun there from Elise, but he might still go down. He lands the stun onto her. She is actually going to get out of it. And now it's actually Nunu trying to take her down. She is going to go down, and Nunu's going to get that first blood. So they were able to turn this gank around. But Azingi is actually still alive, and he may be able to do a decent amount to them. He's actually got a decent amount of health left, and he might be able to bully them off of lane. I'm not sure, though, because obviously they do have potions. Actually, I guess he doesn't have potions, and he did indeed get bullied off lane. So if Azingi can shove this really fast, he may be able to make Shifter miss some CS, but I don't know that it's actually going to happen. It looks like he's just going to go ahead and do his best to CS, but not going to be able to make him miss too much. He actually probably will miss the big minion, though, which is actually a pretty big deal. Alright, so down in the bot lane, we've got Cole's Complexity's Kez playing the Caitlyn versus Twitch, played by Sia. The supports, aka Papa Chow, is going to be against the Gragas, played by Lunamir. Gragas support's fairly normal now. See it a decent amount. Elise is played by Cleanse, and she's going to be against Thiak, playing Nunu, or Thiak, I'm not sure. Don't know how exactly that is, but either way, that's who it is. Ooh, the Ignite, not going to be enough to finish him off there. It was Ignite, right? It was not Ignite, it was just a little bit of a burn. Okay. Thought I saw Ignite, I did not. Alright, yeah. One thing I was really hoping to do was actually go ahead and cast a ranked 5s team, as I haven't done that in a while. Unfortunately, I don't know, it's like the 5s teams really don't play all that much. Like, I looked at the top ranked 5s teams, and the most recent that I was able to find was back on the 24th of June. Or 20, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 24th of June. Elise is actually dying here. She's having a pretty bad time. Gonna go for the Twitch. Not gonna be able to burn him down, though. She tried her best, but it did not end up happening. And now Zed's being forced to walk away really quickly here. Oh, she's trying to kill him. Is she gonna get him? She did get him. Nicely done there. Nicely done indeed. And he had no idea that was even happening. For a second there, I thought he was gonna be able to pull off his back successfully. Nope. That didn't happen, but Nunu is counter-jungling like a madman. Says, alright, well you're dead, so I'm going to steal your jungle. And actually come in for a gank here onto Zed. Here we go, he does land the snowball, of course. The stun comes out there from Twisted Fate, and there is the flash forced by, or from Zed. And that's actually going to put him at a little bit of a disadvantage. Down the bot lane, though, on the plus side for the blue team, they did actually force the Gragas back. So this is actually a decent amount of CS going to waste here, and it is, of course, going to do some damage to that tower as well. Because it doesn't have anyone to defend it. Is she going to take this peek down? Nope. She's going to walk right on by it and not even pay attention. Just kidding. Just kidding. She goes back in to go ahead and finish it off. Alright. I was a little bit worried there for a second. But yeah, I was very disappointed to see that. From the looks of it, like, I looked at Team 8, and from what I could tell, it's like they play maybe 4 or 5 games a month in order to keep their challenger status, which honestly to me, that's very disappointing. I would really love to see more ranked 5s games because it's a completely different caliber of game. With solo queue, of course, you don't have the cooperation between the two teams. You don't have them together, working together. It's just a whole bunch of random people. Sometimes, there's a duo queue. But even still, it's still just a whole bunch of random people. And I really enjoy seeing the cooperation that comes from those ranked 5s because it really shows a different style of league. And it's a lot more similar, at least, to the LCS. Not 100%. Another gank coming in here onto Zed, and he's going to be forced to go ahead and shadow jump away, probably. Oh, stun comes out. There's the shadow. Got out just in time. He actually would have died had he not. May still die, but I don't know. Yeah, he's actually going to die here. Uses his ulti there onto Nunu. No, he does not. Just kidding. He dies. He goes back in, so he does end up dying. Had he actually waited just a little bit longer before going back in, he actually probably would have been okay. But he decided to go back in, get a little bit more damage there onto Nunu, and that resulted in his death as well. But on the plus side, he actually did get shutdown gold for that too. Ooh, Twisted Fate comes in, is immediately rooted, and he goes down to the Zyra. Zyra ulti comes out, pops up that Twitch. Twitch is actually taking a lot of damage there, and he's forced to fall back immediately. Oh, the Caitlyn ulti down. No, he does not go down. He manages to flash out of that, though, and they're going to be forced off of lane again. But that was a really close one there. Had he not flashed that, I think he probably would have ended up dying there. But he did actually manage to go ahead and flash that away, and now Zyra is just doing her best to go ahead and zone them. Stops the back of the Twitch there, because otherwise he probably would have died again to that Zyra. But yeah, overall, I really wish that I could see more ranked 5s teams games. I'd love to see some by the actual LCS teams, but that's not something that's going to happen. They don't really have the time. They do their scrims, and they're not going to be... They're not going to play games in medium that, you know, other people could actually see, because they give away some of their strats and stuff whenever they do it. So they choose their scrim partners fairly with that in mind, so that they know they don't want to show X team this strat or anything. So if they were to do it in ranked 5s, of course, they'd either have to just not use their strats that they're developing, which of course means that it's not really going to be that much better than just a regular 5s game anyway, or they would end up throwing away their strategies. And that, of course, is not something they're going to do. So we're not going to be seeing much of them, but you would, I would have thought that you'd be able to see some of the non-LCS teams, but at the same time, I mean, they are still in the Coke League, so I guess you can't really blame them too much for doing pretty much the same thing. Oh, Zed is trying to go for that TF. He does go ahead and get the death mark on him. In comes the Caitlyn, lands, and TF is actually going to escape this. The Nunu used his ult. Now he's got to try to get out because Elise and Caitlyn doing quite a bit of damage to him. He's getting really low here. TF is also pretty low. He's got that yellow card primed, but of course you don't want to go for that. In comes the Akali. She's melting really low. Probably goes for the TF. TF does end up going down, and Caitlyn's able to finish off the Akali as well. So that ends up being a 2 for 2 there. Not the best overall, but not nearly as bad as it could have been had the bot lane from the blue team not come up. Had it not been for that, it probably would have ended up going really poorly. And Prawley's going to go ahead and grab this pink ward on the way up. Gets him a little bit more gold there, which is always good. Gragas is on his way down. He's going to go into that pink ward, but he's got to watch out. Yeah, this right here is exactly why. Zyra's on her way over. She's going to get some harass off on him. And if he's not careful, she may actually do a little bit more. Looks like Caitlyn didn't decide to come, though, so it's going to be fine. And, oh, boom. Yeah. Oh, man. Nunu actually, oh, he's just going to go ahead and eat the plant, so he's not going to have to worry about it. And is that going to survive? It does end up surviving, but she went ahead and planted another one, which, of course, uses another charge of the sweeping lens. This one was actually Gragas' sweeping lens to go ahead and get it. It didn't manage to go ahead and take it down, though. So that will actually be remaining, and they're going to be able to get Dragon off of this, as Nunu, they just saw Nunu go back, and they know he's not going to be able to do anything. Akali, Kennen going at it now. Zed is coming up here to help. And there we go. They're doing their best to go on her. Lands the stun. Dragon goes down to the blue team. And Akali does end up going down. Tried to plant her shroud there. Did not end up getting it off in time. So she ended up going down without actually being able to survive that. Oh, nice stun there from Elise onto TF. Is he going to... Oh, he does take her off. She did not manage to dodge that. Second there, I thought for sure she was going to be able to dodge it. But she actually didn't. Did a little bit too much wobbly back and forth. And ended up going down for it. There we go. In goes that Nunu ult. Gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, the dodge from Zed says, no, I don't take damage from your ultimate. And he actually did not indeed take damage. Not able to kill him or anything, but that was actually a really good dodge of damage by him, just to make sure that, you know, he would still be around to go ahead and shove this back. Not gonna matter. It's still gonna end up going down. He's actually going for Nunu. Gonna get the kill on Nunu too. Gets stunned though by TF, and he goes down to TF. Not really sure that was worth it, honestly. I think it probably would have been better if he'd just backed off and given up the tower, because this way was a tower and a kill. Granted, he got a kill off of it, so it's not the worst thing ever. But I just don't really know that was 100% worth it. On the plus side, though, Caitlyn is actually here in the mid lane. She's going to be able to shove this really fast. Already has, in fact, and now she's going to go in on that tower. I don't know that she'll be able to get it, but I think she might actually be able to, because there's nobody even close by the red team. They are really far away. In the meantime, down here, there's a battle going on. Out comes that Zyra ulti. Manages to make that Gragas flash away. In goes the Elise onto Twitch. Twitch is in a little bit of trouble. Elise jumps up, and down goes the Twitch. Gragas is also going to be going down very quickly here. Yeah, down he goes. Akali comes in, though. Goes in. Going to be able to finish off the Elise, but the Elise was able to keep her away from Zyra long enough that Zyra is actually apparently going to be engaged on again. But it's going to be fine, because the presence of Zed actually forced her to fall back. Meantime, these guys did manage to go ahead and get that tower, and they're actually continuing shoving, because the red team actually did not actually respond too much. Now they're responding, but in goes Kennen from behind. Out comes his ultimate, and the Zhonya's makes it so that Faker Dog doesn't end up going down, but he does end up going down in the long run thanks to that Caitlyn ulti. In comes the Akali, going off, bursting down Caitlyn. Caitlyn's gonna die here. She does indeed. Now, the Kennen's trying his best to escape. He's going to go down as well. But Zed's here. Going to go ahead and jump in. Lands onto the Akali, but she just shadow jumps away. So she's actually going to be able to get out of this. He's able to jump to his other shadow, though, so he's able to escape it with no problem. So she actually just barely escapes that with her life, but, you know, she did escape it with her life. So that's definitely a good thing for her. 11-10 right now in kills, but the gold totals are showing a really big difference there. Blue team's actually at 25-22. So that's about 3k gold difference. Not really overly surprising given the tower differences. The red team's only managed to get this mid tower, whereas the blue team actually has gotten all of the outer towers. So that opens up a lot of the map for them. And that's going to make it so that they can go ahead and do a lot more ganking. On the minus side, you know, they don't have the TF, who is really strong when those outer towers are down, because it gives him so much space. But on the plus side for him, he's got this tower down, which means that all this area has no vision, so he's able to shove it and then just go pretty much whichever way he wants. The enemy team does not have a ward around here, so he could actually go top, and they would have no idea. Akali's going in on Kennen. Gonna go ahead and dash away, though, so he's gonna be fine. And Kayla and Zyra actually a little bit further extended here than I would have thought. They're gonna go ahead and grab that white and do a little bit of harass to Nunu. Gragas is here as well, but Zed's hanging out right around here, so if they decide to go for something, it may end up coming out in the blue team's favor. TF jumps up to go in on Prolly. Doesn't manage to go ahead and get that gold card off before his card expires. And Prolly is actually going to be able to escape that. So that means that is a wasted ult there for that TF. And that means that the rest of the blue team's actually safe to go ahead and go in and pressure this tower. I don't know that they'll be able to get it down yet. But they did actually take it to about half. And that's actually pretty darn effective. So just little things like that. The TF ult being down is actually really surprisingly game-changing. You wouldn't think just little things like that would mean that much. Ooh, wow. Nunu just about dead, forced to run away. It's a little bit off of... Ooh, in comes the Akali. She's going to go down, though. Yeah, she does indeed go down. Twitch is able to finish off the Zed. Twitch is actually doing okay. TF almost goes down, but he does not end up going down. These guys are going to be forced to fall back. The TF might actually stay around here because he's got that wave clear. Nunu, of course, was forced back. Nice stun there. The Zanya's saving that TF. He's going to be fine there. Up goes the Elise. She's going to try to finish off. Oh, the burn. Is it going to finish him off? Nope. He's going to survive it, but just barely. He barely survived that. So that ended up definitely going really bad against the blue team there. She's gonna get out of this. She did barely get out of it, but get out of it she did. On the plus side for them, they're still not too afraid because, again, the red team hasn't managed to get too many towers. They're getting a decent number of kills, but that's really not what you want to get. You want to get those objectives. And we actually do see the red team trying to do that now. They're clearing around, warding around the dragon pit because they know it's going to respawn soon. And you've got to be ready when it respawns. And that's actually something we've seen in the LCS. If you are reacting when it respawns to go ahead and try to grab vision, you're too late. You have to get control beforehand. Oh man, Elise walks right into Nunu. I think Elise comes out in a one-on-one. She comes out ahead. She's going in on it. In comes Kennen. He's got to run. That was a really bad idea of him to stick around. There we go. He gets stunned. And yeah, he's going to be forced to run away. That's going to be a dragon for the blue team. That right there was a terrible decision on his part. Just sticking around there, it results in his death. And the more important thing is, of course, that dragon. Zed goes in on the Akali. Death mark right off the bat and just bursts her down instantly. You know, Shroud's not going to do too much. And of course, there's the dragon kill. Nunu's able to get up a little bit of health using his Q and everything, but it's way too late. He already missed out on the dragon, and that is a huge chunk of gold that just went to the blue team. I don't know why he chose to stick around in that bush when the Elise saw him. I don't think Nunu comes out ahead in a one-on-one between Elise and Nunu, so the proper response, in my opinion, would have been immediately to get the heck out of there, put the snowball on Elise, and run. I guess maybe he thought that his team was going to go ahead and come to follow it up, but they definitely did not. And in fact, it was the enemy team that followed up and ended up really turning that against him. So Yeah, that didn't go so well. This ward is actually picking up TF, so they know they're going to have to be a little bit cautious around here. And the fact that Twitch is actually still visible means they're safe from him. This is actually a really double trouble team, as both of these people, they're really good at disappearing and appearing exactly where you don't want them. So it's definitely something that is often seen and really just capitalized on in the LCS. Ooh, Akali going in onto Kennen here. Kennen forced to go ahead and jump out. He's able to dash out, though. She goes in again, though. Out comes his ulti. She's forced to flash out. In comes the TF ulti. He jumps over, lands the stun onto Prolly. Prolly goes down. Elise is trying her best to finish somebody off, anybody off. Goes in onto the Akali. Does not manage to finish her off. And that is a double kill there for TF. Akali is going to be able to escape this, I believe. Zyra's doing her best to come in. Gragas pops her up. Akali's just going to try to go ahead and CS and get a little bit of lifesteal, but it didn't end up happening. The Caitlyn ulti was able to finish her off. Zyra's doing her best to just do something, anything. Ends up using that ultimate, pops up the TF. Not going to be enough. Caitlyn's now going off, trying to do some damage to the Nunu. She's forced to use her heal there, and she's just about dead. And she does... Oh, nice Zhonya's means that she does not manage to finish off the TF. I was about to say, and she does manage to get the TF, but no. The Zhonya's enables him to survive that. But in the meantime, of course, Azingi's up here shoving like a madman, and that's a tower down again there. So yet again, the red team got a lot of kills. They got kills, and they didn't get anything else. They're going to get this tower, so that is actually something, finally. That's definitely something they needed. But they didn't get anything else. They got another kill up here, but tower for a kill, again, not worthy. He's going to jump over that wall. She wards up, jumps over on him, and he's going to go down, of course. But I would definitely say that he believes that's worth it. And had it not been for that shroud, he actually probably would have killed her. But yeah, I would definitely say a death for a kill, or a death for a tower, 100% worth it. At least thinking about going in here onto the Nunu. Twitch is going to go ahead and fall back. That's going to be a free blue buff here for Elise. Actually, just kidding, it's not. Twitch is on his way up, and she's about to find that out firsthand when he just engages on her. Misses her stun. She goes in on him. Going to be forced to bow up. Not going to matter, though. There's nobody around. She's going to go down. Oh, she does manage to take off the Twitch, though, so that's a 1-for-1. Nicely played by her, managing to finish that off. Going up, of course, it wasn't going to save her life, and she knew that. But what it did do was allow her to get those cooldowns. So as soon as she popped down, she switched straight into human form and just burst him down with her Spiderling and her Q. And that was just enough to finish him off. Ooh, Gragas almost got caught there. The root did not end up landing thanks to his jump or his dash there. So he's actually going to survive that. But that was probably a pretty scary thing there for him. Elise is back alive and on her way out now. And the rest of the blue team is just kind of hovering around here. They may end up wanting to go in on... Just kidding, they're already going in on Baron. And actually Zed's taking quite a bit of damage from this. These guys are just zoning the rest of the red team. But I don't know if these two can solo this, honestly. Elise is coming now, and Prolly and Kez are actually just doing their best to run interference. But unfortunately for them, TF ulti, they know. Red team now knows. Out comes that ulti. In goes the Akali. This is going to be close. Yes, it does end up going, and Akali goes down. In the meantime, though, Caitlyn went down to Twitch, and these guys are on the run. They've got to get out of this now because, you know, they still have that debuff. Out comes the Zhonya's there from TF. He's going to end up going down to Prolly, though. But Prolly himself is going to go down as well. So that was a lot of gold there for them. But unfortunately for them, they also got aced. So, yeah, they got the gold. But that's about all they got out of that Baron. I don't really think that was worth it, because this is going to give the red team the opportunity to go ahead and grab this tower at the very least. If they don't grab the tower, then they're definitely doing something wrong. They're not going to be able to get this tower. Caitlyn's going to be there long beforehand to go ahead and stop the minions from getting that. But they should definitely be able to get this tower. Twitch and his auto attack speed should be able to finish this off really quickly, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And that's going to give a decent amount of gold here to the red team to hopefully allow them to catch up. They got about 1,000 gold off of it. They're back down to 2,000 down. Zed's coming up. Is he actually going to go for this? I think that would be a terrible decision. Now he's going to go ahead and back off here. Okay, that's good news. And the rest of the red team just kind of walking around, hanging out, not really doing much of anything at the moment. Just getting some CS. Kennan's back to the mid lane here. Gonna go ahead and get some CS of his own. And actually, this is the... I don't remember what... I think this is the football. Soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I think it's that skin for the World Cup, but I'm not 100% certain. Kind of looks like it, though. I like it. It looks pretty cool. Nicely done. Nicely done, Ryan. Anyway. Back to the fight. We see the dragons about to respawn, and we already have the blue team there. They were ready. Again, having that timer is very big, and being there. Having the timer is not the big thing. Using the timer is the big thing. And that's something that I know a lot of people are not so good at. Ooh, Faker Dog getting pretty low there. Gets chunked pretty hard by Zyra. In goes the Twitch. Gets hit, though, by Caitlyn. He goes down almost instantly. In the meantime, the Akali was able to take down the Elise. So that was a 1-for-1 and Dragon. And, of course, you got Zed up here going, inhibitor. And yeah, that's going to go down. And these guys are not being able to go back. The Akali and Gragas were able to go back, but these guys were forced to go ahead and hang around. If one more hit lands, yes, there's the stun. Nunu's doing his best to get out. I think he's going to be fine. But, of course, by this time, it's a little too late anyway. TF going to go ahead and head back. He shoved down the bot lane. Oh, how did you die? Did you decide to go and fight Akali? Yes, he did. He went in on her, and, you know, she's got her Shroud, man. Oh, he's got his... Okay, so he actually used his trinket there. Unfortunately for him, there was a Gragas there to help, so he was not able to survive that. Had it not been for the Gragas, he definitely would have survived. But, you know, you've got to expect something like that in a level of game like this. You're going to have the enemy team that's not just going to be a 1-versus-1 usually. It's possible, but it's going to be pretty rare if they actually allow you to go, especially since that one took so long. He didn't get an insta-burster, so it gave plenty of time there for the red team to react, and they did. Unfortunately for the red team, they lost another tower because of it. So again, I guess trading a death for a kill. Wait, a death for a tower? I keep saying that. A death for a tower probably worth it. Twitch going in on the Caitlyn. Gets a hit off on her, but that's about it. She's going to go ahead and fall back now. Zyra, you better watch out because you're sitting on a ward. Alright, she's going to go ahead and back out of this one. By the way, she actually is in one of the top challenger teams, I noticed, a.k.a. Yep. Again, they almost all haven't played since last month, which is kind of sad to me. I wanted to go ahead and cast one with the latest patch, because the latest patch came out in July. So, obviously, having one of the older ones, it wouldn't really be relevant anymore. A lot of changes have gone through, and you're seeing completely different people than you were back then. So, I wanted to go ahead and get one that's more recent, but unfortunately that's not going to end up happening. Zed's, oh man, Elise, you're in a little bit of trouble. Gonna go up into the sky, come back down, and her and Zed are gonna try to burst somebody down here. She goes down, Zed goes down as well, and that went really bad for them. They weren't able to do much damage at all, and that actually gives a 3-versus-5 situation here to the red team, and they're gonna be able to shove something. They should be able to get a tower out of this. They're gonna have to defend their top, so one person will probably have to go back, but it'll still be 4-versus-3. So they should definitely be able to get, at very least, a tower. They're just shoving this for now. They know they've got some time because the minions are actually stopping it. They're going to have to go back soon, and we do actually see Akali doing so. If the blue team can interrupt that back, they might be able to have this go down, but I don't think so. Now, Akali does end up going successfully back, and the red team actually backs off, so they're not going to get that tower. They're definitely playing very afraid. Crawley's now going for the Nunu, and so is Caitlyn. She gets hit, though, by the snowball, and actually her ult's going to be enough to finish him off. Just kidding. No, it's not. He's a little too tanky for that, and he actually is going to get out of this. But all members of the blue team are back up, so any opportunity that the red team had to go ahead and grab that tower is now gone, and they're not going to be able to get that anymore. Nice attempt there. Oh. Getting engaged on again. Didn't end up dying yet again. TF's going to go ahead and head back, and we've actually got Zed. For some reason I keep wanting to call him Faker. I don't know why. I mean, obviously none of them are actually Faker, but he's called Faker Dog. Anyway, none of them are Faker, so it doesn't matter. They're going to go for this tower here. No stun lands, but ooh, the root does onto Akali. And she's sitting there in her sneaky shroud. Forced to fall back though, so this tower does end up going down, and the blue team's going to go ahead and back off safely again. Nunu was forced to fall back. He's trying to get his health back and everything, but it's not going to happen for a little while. It happened for a little while, but it's a little too late, and he's not going to be able to do anything. These guys have to back off, and you see a lot of caution things there. The big reason for that, they know that Baron's going to be up again soon. So they know they have to be cautious. They don't want to lose anybody right now. If they lost anybody right now, the death timers would pretty much make that Baron, at very least, not theirs. They definitely would not be able to secure the Baron. Whereas if they're 5, they might actually be able to do it, or at very least bait the enemy team. If they're 4, not going to be baiting the enemy team and maybe losing the Baron. Maybe not though. We'll see. Meantime, these guys are continuing to shove up here. The minions are. Baron has respawned, and we immediately see at least some of the blue team headed for it, just to go ahead and get vision control, probably. This ward is here. I don't know. Not going to sweep it. Probably going to go for this pink ward, though. Take it down. Plant a pink ward of their own would be my guess. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. Caitlyn's down there. I guess she just got her red buff. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And she's going to come on up. There's that pink ward I was talking about. They did indeed go for it. And Elise forced to go ahead and fall back here. They tried to engage on her a little bit. Ooh, out comes the flash from Nunu, followed by the snowball. He's probably going to ulti there. He does indeed. And a little bit of engage. Akali's going in onto Zingy there. But Caitlyn's able to shut down the Nunu. And a lot of damage went down onto Akali. She goes and finishes off the Zed, actually. Did not go down. I was about to say she goes down, but she didn't. Caitlyn's going to go. Yes! Manages to secure her with that Pilter of a Peacemaker. In goes the Kennen, trying to chase down the Gragas. Lands the Ignite. Gragas is going to go down. Down he goes. TF is still alive. I think he's going to survive this. Twitch is alive as well. Kennen, you better watch out. He'll be fine. No, out comes that teleport there from TF. He's going to come out with a gold card. Doesn't matter. The cards end up hitting, but the blue team is continuing to go for this tower here, and they're going to be able to go ahead and grab the inhibitor as well, and the top inhib, because Twitch is not going to be able to defend this on his own. They're going to be able to get this indeed. Outcome. Just kidding. They're not. They're not going to be able to get this. TF, I think, will end up going down. Nope. Nope, not that either. Zanya's again. So a lot of the blue team just died there, and that means that this may be a good time for the red team to go for a Baron. They've got 30 seconds before the enemy jungler's up, so that actually might be a good enough time. They are all up at the moment. Zed's going to hang around here to possibly try to scare them off if they decide to go for it, and they are indeed going for it. There we go. I don't really know that he'll be able to do too much, though. One person versus this many, he may be able to do a little bit of harass to them, but I highly doubt he'll be able to chase them off. In all honesty, I highly doubt it. 5 versus 1, it's pretty much going to be a free Baron for these guys. It is indeed. He had his shadow there, I guess, to try to steal it, but enemy guy had smite and consume. Not going to happen. But the blue team does go ahead and ping up the dragon and say, let's go get that then. We know we lost the Baron, but we can get the dragon and the blue buff. And that's actually what they're headed for right now. Prolly is headed over to blue buff as we speak. TF is as well. Oh, man. Here we go. Out comes that ward there. In goes Prolly onto TF. Gets stunned, though, by the gold card. In goes the Nunu. Out comes that ulti there from Prolly, but he melts instantly to Akali. The teleport coming out from TF. Down goes the Caitlyn as well. TF is ignited, or if that might just be his trap. I think that was a trap. There we go. Elise trying to do anything there. She's going to be forced to repel up, and she's going to go down. But in the meantime, as Zingy's up here wanting to go for that inhib, not going to end up happening. He's going to walk away. And they didn't even get the dragon. They did not get the dragon. What is he doing? Jumps away to his shadow there, and actually they are chasing. Oh, the ultimate there. He's going to go in, try to take down the Akali, but he's going to go down as well. That is an ace there for the red team. They've got a little while to go ahead and try to shove here. And that they are... I'm going to say this again and probably be wrong again. They're going to be able to take this tower down. I really believe it this time, but then I've really believed it the last couple times. I don't think they get much more than the tower. They'll get the tower, they'll probably get the dragon, and then that's about all they'll get off of this push. But they will get those things. So that is definitely good for them. There's the tower. Finally, Was finally right on that. Thought for sure they would have had that a while ago, but nope. And now they're going for the dragon. They're definitely going to get that as well. Caitlyn's going to get a lot of farm. So that's definitely good for her. She's about to get rich. Yeah. Almost instantly cleared. Well, yeah. She just gets a lot of gold there. And she's going to have a really good time. But that is a dragon there for the red team. And that actually puts them back into the gold lead here. They still only have 4 towers. But they're actually in the gold lead. Which means if they manage to get more towers, it's going to be a really bad time there for the blue team. Blue team doesn't really have many options for much more gold. They've got a tower down here, and then, of course, these towers. If they get these towers, they probably won the game anyway. So global gold-wise, they don't really have much on the table until Baron and Dragon respawn. So they've got to just rely on just regular CS and everything. Oh, the TF ulti. Gonna jump in here. Gets hit there by the Zyra, but he's able to burst the Caitlyn down with the Twitch first. Down goes the Zyra as well. Elise jumps over to go ahead and try to escape this. Kennen is pinged to go for the inhib. Elise goes ahead and flashes out of this. The Zed is just kind of hanging around. I'm not sure what he's going to go for. He just used a sweeper, so he's not going to be able to use that on the Akali. And Akali's going to go ahead and head back now. Kennen and Twitch are duking it out up here. Kennen does actually successfully take down the Twitch, and he's going to get this inhib. So that's definitely good for him. Elise is going in on the Nunu. Now I would definitely say the Nunu comes out ahead. She was already low. And Zed's actually just kind of hanging around here on the off chance that the Kennen needs it. Kennen actually might because Akali's going for him. Yeah, he goes down too fast though. Even if Zed had been there, it wouldn't have mattered. And I think Elise might be just about to die as well. If she has a stun, she might get out of it. Does have the stun, but she gets hit by another snowball. She's dead. She's gone. Yep. Alright. And that, of course, is definitely unfortunate for them, as that's a 50-second death timer from now. So they're going to be short on people for at least that. In goes Akali going for that Caitlyn. Caitlyn's able to flash out. Zyra, though, is under the tower. She's going to go down. She flashed to try to get out, but she's going to go down. Caitlyn's doing a lot of damage there to Nunu. Not enough, however. Zed comes in onto the Akali. Ooh! Zhonya's is able to eat his ultimate, but unfortunately she still goes down. Caitlyn's able to finish her off. TF uses his Zhonya's as well. He's going to go down to Caitlyn. The stun does land, though, so she's not able to finish off the Nunu. Just kidding. She's going to get the Nunu. Nope! Just about, but not quite. And she should be able to defend this, I think. Especially since Kennen is actually up. His ult isn't up, but he's up, and that's definitely a good thing for him. A big wave of minions here shoving, so the blue team's going to be forced to go ahead and fall back. There's also a decent wave down here, but of course that's not nearly as powerful as this wave. And we should be seeing backs coming pretty soon from the blue team, or for the red team, and that's going to give the blue team time to go ahead and regroup again. The kill difference here is pretty darn amazing. 44 to 26. The fact that the goal is this close is kind of crazy. And it's all because the blue team has been getting so many objectives the whole game. They probably think they're way the heck behind. Or at least they would if they were silver. But they're actually not all that far behind. They're actually still in this game, and they might actually be able to win this. If they can get vision control around Baron, which is coming up in a minute and a half approximately, they might be able to go ahead and grab that. But granted, that's still a decent ways in the future, so it's going to be hard for them to actually get that control and keep it that long. Yeah, especially with this really, really deadly red team. Looks like Elise is really wanting to go for this red buff. She's going to go in on it now. Oh, no, they're actually waiting for Twitch to get there. And he walks into the bush, and he's like, oh, why would he go for that? He walked into the bush, saw them there, and just turned around and went for red buff. And he actually goes down because of it. Akali came in to try to help. She goes down as well. The Nunu comes in from behind, forced to flash out. And the rest of the red team is just in big trouble here. I don't know, maybe Twitch wasn't actually even paying attention when he went down there, because there's no way that he should have turned around and went for that red buff after walking in and seeing two people just sitting there waiting for him. But he did. Zyra's about to go down. Elise is doing her best to go ahead and finish off the TF. Out comes his Zhonya's, though, and he's not going to go down quite yet, but in comes the Caitlyn. She's going to try. She's going to be able to finish off the Gragas. She doesn't have her ult, though, so she's not going to be able to finish. What, does she have her ult? No, she doesn't. If she came this way, she'd be able to take down the TF. Not going to happen, though. And yeah, she's not going to be able to get that inhib as well, either. Nunu's able to force her back, but she actually was able to do a decent amount of work there. Got a couple kills. Ooh, the TF ulti. That is probably going to be a dead case. She puts down her trap. Not going to matter, though. She's going to go down. Trying to lifesteal her way through it, but it wasn't nearly enough. He was able to just go ahead and burst her down while she was stunned. Yeah, she was definitely too overextended considering the fact that he was just about to respawn. And, in fact, did respawn. And this may be another Baron here for the red team. Just widening that gold gap. They are going for it. But there's only... Well, actually, there are 4 members up right now. So I'm not sure if we'll be seeing them successfully get it. I have a feeling, though, we will. Because the blue team's not even able to do anything. So, yeah, that is a successful Baron again. And things are looking rough for the blue team. I have no idea what they're going to be able to do to stop this. Zed is going to possibly... Actually, he's probably going to backdoor, honestly. Nunu's going to walk into the bush and Zed says, "Hey, how you going? How's it going?" And immediately goes in on him. The Nunu is probably going to die. Nope. He's going to escape that. He actually lived through that. I'm not sure what gave him the shield there. Oh, Lock of the Iron Solari. The Lock of the Iron Solari barely kept him up. Akali's going in on a Zingy now. The Zingy's got to watch out. Ooh, Twitch just DC'd. That's terrible news. Plus side of the red team, they still have that Baron buff. They didn't lose the Nunu, although they just about did. On the minus side, of course, the loss of their AD carry is huge. I really hope he comes back soon, because if not, that's really going to hurt. The blue team did go ahead and get the dragon off of this. They got it. They have no idea that the Twitch just DC'd, and I'm not sure if his DC actually even mattered for the dragon. He's back now, which is good. I don't really know if it mattered because, honestly, the red team showed no inclination to even go to the dragon. They were just kind of hanging around, and he was up here, they were down here. So I think the blue team may have ended up getting that dragon anyway. And that kept them within a 3k gold difference again. So that's good for them. They still really need to get those back down. It's kind of amazing to me that the red team still has not managed to get these second tier towers there from the blue team. Blue team has just managed to go ahead and just keep this rolling. Every time that the red team gets their kills, it doesn't matter. Because the blue team has already... They've been doing their wave control. They've been doing everything just right. So that the blue team, or the red team, is not really able to capitalize on any of their just aces or kills or anything. And honestly, I kind of think that they're not trying quite hard enough to capitalize on it either. As there have been a few times that they really should have done something and instead just kind of sat around. But if a team fight goes off now and the red team comes out ahead, the waves are actually pushing on all lanes. So that will actually probably be the victory of the red team if we see a fight that goes in the red team's favor. They've got Baron, so most likely if we see a fight, it's going to go in the red team's favor. If there's a full team fight. Not 100% certain, but it's very likely. They're coming up here to defend this wave against this wave, which is a huge wave. And they are actually able to clear that out very quickly indeed. And, oh man! Akali got locked up into the tower, took a ton of damage, and she goes down. The Twitch is able to finish off. Let's see, let's just slow this all down. Alright, we'll just do this. There we go. Speed it up just a little bit so we can get the start. There we go. That stun there on Akali. She takes a ton of damage right there. Flashes over the wall, but she goes down to that Zed. And then, of course, Twitch is just ripping through Prolly. Down goes Prolly just about instantly, right off the bat. Twitch is still just able to auto-attack all the things right now. The Elise almost goes down. She's actually getting really low. Kez is really low, forced to flash out. But nobody else has died here for the blue team, and they're actually able to defend this so far. But the red team's still hanging around, and the only low member on their team is Nunu, who's able to get that consume on. Out comes the root again from Zyra, who's actually sticking around into the tower, forced to flash over. She's going to be able to get out. Apparently, the TF actually teleported down here, which he did. And he does not end up going down. He does end up going down. Shut down by the Zed. And I think Nunu may end up going down as well to that tower shot. No, not going to go down. Twitch is able to take down the Caitlyn. Zyra's the only one left here. She's going to go down. And that is a quadra kill there for him. Nunu again getting really low, but not going to go down. He's got that consume again to keep him alive, and that is a long respawn timer. And like I said, if it goes in the red team's favor, it's going to be the game. And it is almost definitely going to be the game. They're going to get this, they're going to get this, and I'm reasonably certain they're probably going to win it off of this. Down goes the inhib. They've only got the 3 minions right here, right now. But they're able to clear out these waves, and there's another wave coming. I'm pretty sure this is the end. There we go, going for that. The Youmuu's just popped by Twitch. Down goes the Nexus Tower. In goes the Kennen, gonna go ahead and ult. Does a lot of damage there, but he goes down, and that is indeed going to be the game. Wow. Alright, so that's going to be the end of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Have a good night. Bye.